Many thanks for staying tuned. I am William Dada. South African prosecutors have issued Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan with a formal summon on Tuesday in relation to the establishment of a tax department investigation unit a decade ago. Gordhan, who is highly respected by financial markets, has painted the allegations about his role in establishing the special tax unit as political mischief. Meanwhile, South African National Prosecutor Shaun Abrahams has denied any political interference in a decision to prosecute Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan for fraud over severance packages at the tax department. Abrahams told a news conference that he had informed Justice Minister Michael Masutha of the decision to prosecute before he announced it to the public. The South African rand dropped as much as 3.4% against the dollar shortly after the country's finance minister Pravin Gordhan was served with a formal summon on Tuesday to appear in court. South African prosecutors issued Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan with a formal summon to appear in court on November the 2nd in relation to the granting of early retirement to a colleague, sending the rand reeling. The affair, which has rumbled on for months, has rattled markets in Africa's most industrialized country, which faces the risk of ratings downgrades later this year. In line with the weaker rand, South Africa's government and dollar bonds also fell sharply, while the cost of insuring exposure to South African debt leaped to 3-month highs. Also, the decision to prosecute South African Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan has wiped nearly 50 billion rands, equivalent of $3.5 billion, off the Johannesburg Stock Exchange's banking index on Tuesday. The JSE's banking index fell as much as 5.2% in response. Was hit was Barclays Group Africa, which tumbled 5.81%. Rand Merchant Bank Holdings fell 5.72%. Standard Bank fell 5.34%. Capitec suffered least with a 2.49% drop. And TVC News Southern Africa correspondent Voldy Karelse joins us now for update. All right, we hope to reconnect with our Southern Africa correspondent, Voldy Karelse, for updates on the development of the Finance Minister's court summon and how it is impacting on the economy there. Moving on, Rwandan miners are seeking for more government support as low metal prices persist. Commodity and metal prices have been on a free fall over the past 2 years as the global economy continues to experience challenges. The drop in prices, particularly for metals, is attributed to scale down of mineral purchases by China owing to poor performance of its industrial and manufacturing sectors. Jean-Malik Kalima, the president of Rwanda Mining Association, also said the 4% loyalty tax and import duty on equipment used in the mining sector have made it difficult for most players to break even and earn any profits. But Kalima urged sector players to embrace value addition to increase the value of Rwanda's minerals, besides creating more jobs along the value chain. We're going back to our Southern Africa correspondent, Voldy Karelse, for updates on the developments in the economy of that country. Now, Voldy, if you can hear me, we want to know what updates you've been able to gather regarding the impact the court summon served to the Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan, is currently having on the economy.
Well, I think you did give the viewers an indication of that. The rand plummeting more than 3%, as you said in your introduction, but also there was a massive selling off of South African bonds on the JSE in the wake of this news that the finance minister has been summoned to court and will appear on charges of fraud. Now, of course, this relates to him putting one of his former colleagues while he was still head of the South African Revenue Service on early retirement and then re-employing him. Aside from the political impact that this news has had, we've also had some reactions from political parties in the past hour. The ANC saying Comrade Pravin, as they refer to him, is innocent until proven guilty, but that he should have his day in court. Another ANC spokesperson saying that maybe what should happen is that Minister Gordhan should resign while they sort out these charges against him. The Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema calling on South Africans to march to Pretoria on the 2nd of November. Now that's when Gordhan is due to appear in court alongside other former SARS officials in relation to this fraud charge. But of course, this has nothing to do with the separate charge that the police's elite unit, the Hawks, are investigating. And that's also related to Gordhan's work while he was still SARS commissioner. And that's, of course, related to the spy unit, the rogue spy unit. And that's still an ongoing investigation. But the political consequences for this, and most importantly, the financial consequences of what was announced this morning, is something that we'll see in the coming days. The finance minister questioning the timing of these charges, asking why it always happens around when he's just about to give his budget statements. It's 15 days to go until the medium-term budget statement. He's saying that that will have an effect on the budget statement. It seems, he says, as though budget statements get people very excited. But with just 2 weeks to go until then, of course, he's just returned from New York, where he was trying to woo investors back to South Africa and instill confidence in the country's economy. This comes just a weekend after his return from New York, 2 weeks before the budget statement, and then he has to be in court. A very, very suspicious timing, according to him, and that is something that political parties and ordinary South Africans have also questioned.
All right, that's quite insightful, Voldy. Many thanks for the updates. That's our Southern Africa correspondent, Voldy Karelse, giving us updates on the impact of the court summon issued to the country's finance minister, Pravin Gordhan. And we hope to bring you more updates as the event unfolds in that country. And that will be all in business at this time. Over now to Marco Tabo for sports.